Welcome back to a new video. In this video we are going to talk about while loops in Python. Let's start coding. So what exactly is a while loop? Well, a while loop is a control flow statement that allows code to be executed repeatedly based on a given Boolean condition. By Boolean condition I mean true or false. The loop will continue executing as long as this condition remains true. So let's say like count equals to 0, and then we are writing a while loop. It's the syntax of it. While count is less than 5, we can say print count is, and we give the count. So since the count is going to be less than 5 every time this condition checks, it's going to be an infinite loop and it's going to print count is continuously. But we are going to insert something like count plus n equals to 1, which means the same thing with count plus 1. These are same, plus equals to 1. Now it's going to increase the count every time by 1, and when it's not less than 5, the execution will stop. So I'm just going to make this cell run like this, and you see that it worked until 4, but in 5 it's not less than 5. So this condition became to false after that. So here we initialize a variable count to 0 and execute the loop as long as count is less than 5. The loop prints the current count and increments it in each iteration. Let's do an example with user input. Let's say user input, and it's going to be something like this. And we can just take user input like string input and give an input. Then we can say while user input not equal to quit, user input. Actually, let's take this in here like this and give an empty string in here. So after that we are going to say print you entered, and let's show the user input after that. So in here, if the user writes quit, like we can add something like type quit to quit, and I'm just going to make this cell run, and it, as you can see at the top of the screen, it wants an input from us. I'm going to say 5, and it says you entered 5. I will say 3, A, B, C, D. I can enter anything. If I enter quit, it's going to quit the program, like it's going to be finished. Again, if I say run and I type quit, instantly it's going to finish the program, because our condition is user input is not going to be equal to the quit. If it gets equal to the quit, then program ends. The loop continues until the user enters quit. It takes user input and prints it until the exit condition is met. Now let's explore infinite loops and two essential keywords that help control them: break and continue. So as we talked about it before, the infinite loop is while true, and we can say print something like this is an infinite loop. This is an infinite loop. I'm not going to make it run, or we can just make it run. You are going to see that it's going to print it continuously. I'm just going to make it stop, and after stopping it, I think we are going to be good. Yeah, I'm not going to show you the entire thing, but it printed a lot of this, and if you don't make it stop, it's going to print this infinitely. As you can see, it printed it a lot, so I'm just going to clear in here like this. But we can control this infinite loops using the break and continue keywords. So in this example, the loop condition is always true, creating an infinite loop. Be cautious when dealing with infinite loops, as they can lead to program execution issues. Sometimes you need a way to exit a loop, so we will use break keyword for that. I'm going to say count, and it's going to be equal to 0, and I will say while true infinite loop. Then I'm going to say print count is our old example, and it's going to be count. Then I'm going to increment this by 1 every time, and I'm going to say if count equals to 5, then we are going to say break. So it says exit the loop when count reaches to 5. So I'm just going to make it run, and it's going to exit the loop since this break keyword is in here, since this condition is met. If we can change this to 10, it's going to count to 9, and if you change this to 5, it's going to count to 4. Great. Here the loop continues indefinitely, but we use break keyword to exit when the count reaches 5. On the other hand, the continue keyword allows you to skip the rest of the code in the current iteration and move to the next one. So I'm going to say for number in range 10, and then I'm going to say if number modulo 2 equals 0, we are skipping the even numbers by the continue keyword, and if this, actually I need to fix the typo in here, and if condition is not satisfied, I will say odd number, and it's going to be number. So what we do in here is we are skipping a number if it's even. If it's an odd number, we are saying odd number and number, like this. Also, I showed an example in the for loop because it's easier to show the concept with the for loops, but you can use them with while loops too, on the situations like maybe you need some condition like that instead of a while loop, and you can just use these two keywords.
Thanks for watching the video. I'm sharing 2 or 3 new videos every week about data science and Python programming. You can subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.